So now we're engaging on medical school campuses, working with groups like American Association of Pro-Life OBGYNs and Physicians for Life, Catholic Medical, Christian Medical, going into the schools with a pro-life message. 2 weeks ago, we were preparing for an event, and I was up about 2 a.m. I was writing a speech, and West Coast students. So Helen from University of Washington, Seattle, texted me and said, "You won't believe where I just was at. I was at the Med Students for Choice event here in Seattle." I was like, "Nice. What did you find out? Do you have any good information for me? What are they up to?" And she said, "Well, they had an abortionist come in, and she started her speech off by proudly proclaiming that she's performed over 30,000 abortions in her lifetime. It's more than the whole town I was raised in. And then the question and answer session, so she talked about her wonderful career, and she was encouraging the students to perform abortions or for abortions, especially to do RU46 abortions, because those are considered less gruesome abortions. They can get away with it. A lot of people wouldn't know that they're doing it. At the end of the presentation, as one of the students, pro-choice students, raised her hand and said, "What do you do with the Down syndrome diagnosis?" And she said, "Well, there's a cure for Down syndrome." Shocking to me, it's abortion. That's her cure for Down syndrome. And this week, actually, we're in our second to last week of our Med Students for Life tour. We're going to 27 medical schools in 15 days with a former abortionist, now pro-life OBGYN, talking to majority pro-choice students. And we're changing hearts and minds because we're using their language and their rhetoric. But I can't tell you how difficult it's been and how controversial it's been just to have a pro-lifer on campus. I have one school in Virginia threatening to expel our medical student because she dared to bring in a pro-life speaker. I've had 2 schools, who are private schools, who've cooked us out and won't even let us on the campus, and we have to organize at the local library. And the pro-choicers, guess what? They still come to our event because they want to hear what Dr. Pashowski has to say. So in addition to all of this work, at the med schools, the undergrad campuses, we coordinate 2 very special leadership programs every year. Because the number one thing I hear when I speak to pro-life leaders and people who've been in the fighting for so long for the rights of the preborn, is how do we get those students to show up? They never return my calls or emails. They never do what I need them to do. And the key for us is relationships and leadership. Because we want to invest in the future leaders and the current leaders of the pro-life movement. So we have 2 very special programs that we do. Every summer we have a Missionary for Life summer internship. So we don't pay the students. They dedicate a summer to come to our office for 9 weeks in a rotating internship. So they serve 3 weeks with us, 3 weeks with another pro-life organization like Susan Banquet List or National Right to Life, and then 3 weeks on Capitol Hill with a pro-life congressman or senator's office. So they have a full Washington, D.C. pro-life experience that they can take back to their campus the next year. We also have a William Wilberforce Leadership Fellowship, and that started as an extension of our Missionary for Life program. It's a whole year program. We fly all the fellows in for a weekend training in D.C., and then they're partnered with a pro-life leader, a national pro-life leader. Marjorie Dannenfelser, David B. Wright, Charmaine Yost, the list goes on and on. And they're partnered with a pro-life leader in a field in the pro-life movement that they want to work full-time in, to see how can they, when they graduate college, work full-time in the pro-life movement. Where are they needed to be? And then we have a binder of leadership materials, not pro-life materials, leadership materials. I'm a big John Maxwell fan. Namely, John Maxwell's not making some money off me because I just copy books. But a huge binder of John Maxwell and other great leadership reads, and all we're teaching the students is leadership tools. Leadership tools that they can apply on campus and then also when they graduate. And because we're on a tight budget, we've had to be creative. So we've engaged in social media. We are one of the first pro-life organizations on social media. Today we have the largest pro-life cause on Facebook. We have 630,000 people on the Abolish Abortion cause that one student started for us. We have technology that's being developed. We have a blog called abolishabortion.com. We're the only group in the pro-life movement that can update member statuses instantly on Facebook and Twitter if something happens. Action item, prayer request, whatever. And it really comes in handy when we have a student who gets in trouble. So a student who gets arrested for praying too close to Planned Parenthood in Chicago. Or when a student group gets arrested even though they have the legal papers to be on campus with their pro-life display. Then you can alert people through text message, Facebook, Twitter, and instantly the university is reconsidering its decision. We did this one time with a local judge. He made a really bad decision in a case, and we just said, oh, we'll just send out text message. And the local paper reported that never before had the judge's phone line. They shut down the judge's phone line for the day, and they were like, this is unheard of. No one calls judges to complain. But we did. We thought it would be pretty interesting, so he knew we were watching.